Workers' compensation insurance protects your employees for injuries during the course and scope of employment, and it protects your business from related lawsuits. Trusted guidance is provided by FloridaWC.com, your partners for workers' comp.
At FloridaWC, we specialize in workers' compensation insurance. And every day, somebody calls into our office, a business owner somewhere in the state of Florida, and asks the same question: how do I save money on my workers' comp insurance? And the answer is simple. And there's 5 tips I like to give to you as an employer. The first tip is to be proactive in your claims. In that claims process, when you have an injured employee, be proactive in that injury to get them taken care of, get the medical attention that they need, and get them back to work as soon as possible. Anything that you can do to save on the total cost of those claims that your employees have, the better off in the long run that you'll be as far as your workers' comp experience goes. And it's based in workers' comp rates, especially as you become a larger employer, are based on your previous claims as well. They're factored into the rate, and is what's known as an experience modification factor, sometimes called an XMOD for short. And we'll have some more videos on those that we'll put some links up to on this video. But the best thing to do for this first tip is be proactive in those claims. Make sure you're partnering with a good workers' compensation carrier and agent that can work with your claims and get those employees back to work as soon as possible. The second tip is to look at your classification codes on your policy. Be familiar with the definitions of those classification codes and how those are used within your industry. And to give you kind of an example, overall view of what classification codes are, there's 600 different groupings of employees within the state of Florida. And so each specific job duty has a different rate associated with it. And a quick example is within the landscaping industry, you have lawn maintenance companies and you have landscape installation companies. And if your policy is based on as a landscape installation business, then your rates are going to be twice as high as the lawn maintenance companies. So it's important, and especially if you're going along with that same industry, if you're doing tree trimming, it's even higher than that. So it's important to know what your rates are within your industry, what those classification codes are, and you can often use multiple classification codes on a single policy. I've seen as many as 10 classification codes used on a policy, and so each type of employee within your office can be rated separately. So not everybody's rated that highest classification code, but everybody has their own unique classifications. So it's important to understand that. Ask as many questions as you can to your agents, or give us a call here. The third tip that I'd like to give to you is the payroll numbers that you're using on your policy. Make sure that they're actual payroll numbers. And that may sound simple, but when you boil it down, it's not the actual payroll that your policy is being rated on. It's what's known as remuneration. And the important thing to know about remuneration is, in a workers' comp policy, it doesn't include overtime pay that you pay, it doesn't include any severance packages. There's a few other things as far as your officers within your corporation. They have a maximum amount that they can make, so they're making a high salary. You may not be charged for all that in workers' comp premium, and it may be a maximum amount. There's also, within certain classification codes, there's different things that you can do as far as what's constituted as the payroll to be used on the policy. So be familiar with that and make sure you're reporting that correct amount to the insurance carrier. The fourth tip is to look at the premium credits available. There's 2 main premium credits available in the state of Florida, and those are the 5% credit available for the drug-free workplace program, and there's also a 2% premium credit available for a safety program. So if you have those in place, then you're receiving 7% off your workers' compensation premium right from the get-go. And an important thing to do is, if you don't have those, to take a look at it. They're often cost-effective. Setting up a safety program, you have to have something written in force, and there's plenty of videos and information out there on our website that you can check out to be able to set up those for your business within the state of Florida. And the last tip that I'd like to leave you with is to understand what other premium savings and discounts are available out there. They're often in the form of dividend program. So if you have no claims over the course of your policy period, the workers' comp carrier will incentivize you to handle your claims and prevent claims and be proactive about that by giving you a percentage of your premium back on your policy. So often you'll see even up to 20% of your premium back, even as high as 40 and 50% of your premium back, depending on the size of your business, that you can get at the end of your policy period for having no losses. There's also flat dividend programs available where, depending on your insurance carriers, the way that they can compete on price when the prices are set in Florida for each of those 600 classification codes by the government, that they can compete on price because they can look and say, well, any business that we write within this classification code, we're going to give a flat dividend back, which means it's not based on your claims. So even if you have a bunch of claims or you have no claims, you're still going to get that flat dividend back. And it's typically 5 or 10% of your premium that you get back at the end of the policy period, just as a way for that carrier to compete for your business based on price. So if you have any questions, if you're looking for workers' compensation quotes, feel free to contact us, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you for your time.
For more information, visit FloridaWC.com. We are proud to be your trusted choice.